Hey guys, it's the Tominator, and today I wanted to do a quick video to showcase what I believe was probably the very best bodybuilder to never earn his pro card, and that would be Edgar Fletcher. Now, a lot of people are quick to say Matt Mendenhall's name when it comes to who is the best to never turn pro, but after viewing some more footage, I think Edgar really gives him a run for his money, and arguably might have even been a bit better. Both were phenomenal talents who no doubt would have been winning pro shows and participating at the Olympia level had they competed in today's era. So we're going to take a look at one of Edgar's routines, and then I'll briefly compare him to Mendenhall with some pictures at the end. This clip is from the 1992 MPC Nationals. I believe he took third in the super heavyweight class, but back in those days, this was one of the only qualifying shows available, and you had to win your weight class in order to turn pro. But the physique itself was amazing. Probably the reason why I like this guy so much, or a big part of it anyway, is that he reminds me a lot of Sean Ray. And for those of you who don't know, Ray is my favorite bodybuilder of all time. Fletcher's got the same sort of aesthetic proportions with the round muscle bellies and was roughly the same size as well. The commentator said he clocked in here at 212 pounds exactly, standing at a height of 5'6", so he's packing quite a lot of muscle onto a smaller frame. And you can bet this physique would absolutely do damage on the 212 stage today, though it'd probably fit in better among the classic physiques given the tiny waistline and his ability to hit a vacuum. The major differences between him and Sean, however, are that Sean Ray had a better chest and midsection and came in sharper condition, though Edgar looks a bit thicker overall, which definitely helps in those side shots. In terms of weaknesses, it looks like both of them could stand to bring up their shoulders a bit compared to their arms and chest, as we'll see in his most muscular pose where they look a little flat. I think the main reason Edgar was never able to attain pro status is that he never quite nailed his conditioning. Of course, if we're being honest, it was mainly because he competed in such a highly competitive era where they didn't hand out pro cards like candy like they do nowadays. Okay, so now let's move into the final phase of this video, and the reason I put him over Matt Mendenhall is that I think he had better lines and fuller muscle bellies. Mendenhall definitely had the superior structure. He was a big boy, standing at around 5'11" to 6 feet tall, and would basically dwarf someone like Fletcher. Not only that, but he was very complete. If we want to say Edgar is a poor man's Sean Ray, then Mendenhall is like a poor man's Jay Cutler. He definitely reminds me of a young Jay insofar as here's this well-proportioned mass monster with this huge wide frame, and maybe it's not the prettiest physique you've ever seen, but damn is it ever imposing. Plus it's hard to find a bad body part on the guy. I also think they look very similar from the front through the delts and pecs and with those big quads. Matt might even have the 4-time Mr. O beat when it comes to the calves, which is certainly saying something because Jay Cutler did not lack for calves. But just like Jay, I'd argue that Mendenhall's biggest weakness was his lack of detail. You just don't see a lot of separation or striations or vascularity on display, and I think just like Edgar, the reason he never quite went the distance is because he couldn't bring his A game come contest day. And so both these guys kind of let other less genetically gifted men outwork or outsmart them, I guess you could say. Of course, these weren't the only two big names to never turn pro. Victor Richards and Rory Liedelmeyer never made it either. But I consider Fletcher and Mendenhall slightly above those two quality-wise, which is why I didn't focus on them here. Okay guys, so that's all for this one. I just wanted to highlight the amazing and criminally underrated physique of Edgar Fletcher and just put something out there to sort of bridge the gap before we start making some predictions for the Mr. Olympia 2019. And that'll be coming in the next video, probably next weekend. So stay tuned for that one and feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more if you haven't already. But until then, this has been the Tominator signing off and I'll be back.